y'all know about that weed. Grassy ones, broadleaf, summertime, wintertime, annuals, perennials. Hey y'all, what's up? It's been a while. I thought I'd make this quick video about weeds. That's pretty much one of the biggest things people want to control, right up there with having that green grass. So let's talk about it. Now, I let this grow because I have some bare areas in my yard, and I'm going to pull these out. Pull this weed out. And when I take this weed and transfer it over here, it becomes not a weed. You know why? That's because the definition of a weed is any type of plant growing anywhere you don't want it. So now, knowing that everything is basically a weed depending on where it is growing, there's some things and methods that you have to use to try to control it in your grass. So let's go down the line with a lot of these example of products used to control the weeds. First up is some type of pre-emergent, and basically what it does is stops the weeds from growing and becoming a full-blown plant in your yard. This type of weed control is by far the best weapon that you can have, and clodimine is one of the products that you can use, one of the chemicals that you can use, and it's probably the cheapest. I mean, this right here costs a pretty good penny, but it'll last the average homeowner years. Now, this product will pretty much eliminate all weeds that germinate from seeds and that are annual weeds, meaning that they grow, drop seeds, then they die, and then the next year the seeds that they drop become a plant again. So those annual root weeds can be controlled with a product like this. The next one on the list is another one which is a lot more expensive, which is dithiopyr or dithiopyr. Those are the two primary pre-emergents that are being used. There are some different ones, but primarily those are the two main weed controlled pre-emergents out there. And those products can be used on basically all lawns. So you don't have to worry about the St. Augustine and Bermuda and all of that, because you can use those pre-emergents there. So that, guys, is your best bet. And these products, the pre-emergents, are generally put down in the fall, right at the end of summer, because the summer weeds are dying. And right before fall, before the temperatures fall to about 70 degrees, where seeds can start germinating for the next year. So that's what you're going to do in the fall and also in the spring, right around March or so, depending on where you are, when the soil temperatures reach around 55 degrees, so that the spring weeds and summer weeds can be controlled. So that's number one on the list, pre-emergence. That's the most important step that you can take when you're talking about controlling weeds. And after the weeds have come up and your problem is you have existing weeds, one of the things that you can do is put a post-emergent out. And here is an example of a post-emergent broad spectrum weed killer. It just kills a whole bunch of different types of weeds, broadleaf weeds. And this product actually has 3 different active ingredients. So it has 3 weed killing chemicals inside it. That's why it's called a triplet. And they do have some called Q4 that has a four-way weed killer. And that way, you know, you're putting this stuff out and you don't know the name of the grass or the weeds that you're trying to kill. This is a broad spectrum that's pretty much just kind of just kills hundreds of types of different types of grasses. For example, I know you guys are gonna get tired of me showing this, but I just love the value on this. This one right here has the weed killer D4D in it, 2,4-D. I'm sorry, dicamba, and it's a broad spectrum also, and it covers 50,000 square feet. So I really buy this really for its weed killing capabilities, and it's for broadleaf weeds. And to be clarifying broadleaf, this is what we mean. It can't be confused as a grass. There's no way that you're going to confuse that as a grass. So it's not a grassy type weed. That is a broadleaf weed, and those are types of weeds that dicamba in the triplet will kill. Those types. And for more clarification, this is a grassy type weed. Like if you had a whole entire lawn just filled with this and you cut it, somebody might think that you had a full lawn of grass, but that's a grassy type weed. They're harder to kill. So that's for clarification between broadleaf and grassy type weeds. So again, to get a broad spectrum weed control of broadleaf weeds, I use this product triplet, which is pretty good. You can get this on Amazon and domyown.com. I ordered this, and it has 3 active ingredients in there. This is just something that you get from Tractor Supply for 40 bucks. So that's basically what I use for my broadleaf weed controls. It does a pretty good job. So drive accelerate. Now, this is when you start to get into your grassy type weeds, like crabgrass, for example. This is what you use for crabgrass if you didn't get your pre-emergent down, because crabgrass is an annual weed. It comes up, it drops seeds, it dies, and then the seeds come back as a new plant. So if you don't get a chance to kill it with this product here because you waited too late, then you have to switch over to this, and the active ingredient in this is quinquerlac, which is a crabgrass killer. And one of the things that you can do is get you a tank mix with both chemicals in here. That way you can kill a broad spectrum of broadleaf weeds with this, and then you can also kill some crabgrass weeds with this, and along with maybe some sedges and things like that. So that's your grassy type weed control there. Before I go any further, when I say tank mix, I am talking about the backpack sprayer or some type of mix there. And in order to have effective weed control, it's just going to be hard for you to not have some type of sprayer. Now, they do have this that people are used to. You can use one of these for some of your chemicals, but you just can't mix everything in there. So, but that's more video later on. So now let's jump into some more selective type stuff. This Tenacity. This also is a broad spectrum weed control, but it has some pre-emergent like that and post-emergent properties to it, meaning that you can put this down and it's going to prevent the seeds from growing much like the pre-emergent, but they also will kill existing weeds, certain existing weeds. Now, I use this for Tenacity, and I use this when I'm seeding, when I'm putting seeds out, because this will allow your seeds to grow, but still kill the weed seeds. How it does it, I don't know, but that's what it is. So guys, when I'm telling you this stuff, you have to read your label. Some of these weed control products are not meant for all grasses. Like this one here, this is specifically for St. Augustine grass. You can't put a lot of the other stuff on there or you can kill St. Augustine, and it will tell you on the label. So this is a this is a St. Augustine weed killer that kills a broad spectrum weeds in St. Augustine grass. And along with those weed killers there, this is the type of product. It's called a surfactant or adjuvant, or some people might say dishwashing liquid. And basically what this does, it allows the chemicals to stick to the leaves of the weeds, so it doesn't run off. Because you know, some weeds have like a waxy buildup, much like a car. When it has wax on it, it beads up and water won't stick to it. Well, that's what some plants have, that the chemicals won't stick to it. So this allows the chemicals to stick, and this is just one of many different types of surfactants out there, and I use that along with my weed killer. Now this is the big boy right here. This is at 41% glyphosate, basically known as Roundup, and it just kills everything. And that's going to be the issue with some of these grasses. You cannot kill some of the grass, like some of the Dallas grass and Johnson grass that I showed you earlier. There's no way to kill it and not kill the grass around it. It's just not going to happen. So you have to either dig them up or kill everything around the grass, including the grass, the crabgrass, not the crabgrass, but the Johnson grass and Dallas grass and certain grass like that. There's just no way to get rid of them without touching or harming your existing turf. So you're either going to have to kill everything there or dig it up individually. Now obviously if you have a lot, you just have to kill the whole lot. Just kill everything and start over with either sod or seeds. So that's where this comes into play. This right here basically is a broad spectrum everything killer. It just kills everything that it touched in general. And this can also be bought at a much cheaper rate than your big box stores Roundup. Roundup is very expensive, and you can go and get this cheap to kill everything. So I'm just giving you a close-up of the Ortho Hold'em sprayer. So some type of spraying system is just necessary in order to get these things going, because once you get into it, you'll start to realize that there's different types of weeds, and they grow at different times of the year. And some type of weeds grow twice. You know, they're biannual weeds. So my advice to you is to go and do your pre-emergence. That is by far the most important application that you can do to your lawn ever. The most important, beyond fertilizer, beyond water, beyond everything. If you want a nice looking lawn, the pre-emergent weed control is a must. It is a must. And after you go from here, if you miss this step here, it can still be done, but it's going to be more expensive. Why? You know, I could put this down and I could forego all of this, all these chemicals, which is a hefty price tag, if I just put that down. And now sometimes certain weeds do come through even after you've done that. Some do make it through, and that's when you can go and get some spot spraying, or even this is pretty cheap here. You can just kill, if you have weeds here and there, you can mix this up and just spray it on there. And if you have grass like St. Augustine and Bermuda or something like that, if you just spraying a little spot and killing it, your grass that you killed around that, it'll quickly recover. So you basically can get away with having just this Prodiamine here and this here, very inexpensive. Those two products are the cheapest on the table. You can really get away, if you time it correctly, with just using those two products and not having to spend a lot of money trying to kill all those weeds. So that's what you can do. So in a nutshell, if you have Bermuda, for example, or some type of fescue like I do, this plus that, I mean, that could be your whole year long weed control right there, very inexpensively. But when you start having stuff all over, you're gonna have to go in and get some more high-powered stuff. Anyway, hey, I tried to make this video short, but it's just too much to put in one video. We may have to get into some specifics for each individual situations in order to really get the information out there. But again, this is my spiel on the weeds.